Hello and welcome to Reviews with Friends. Sorry it took so long, but it's hard to have friends. This is Nick.
Hi.
And Nick is very important to this channel. He helped me create the name Stupid Chainsaw Productions, believe it or not.
Sophomore year.
Junior year.
Junior?
It was junior.
Felt longer.
Sophomore year was when non-public happened, which we will not speak of.
We will not speak of such events on the internet.
No, it has to do with my porn career, though, which has been referenced.
I remember we had a video class together, and we decided to make our own movie trailer for a movie that was never made.
Yeah.
And it was just blatantly ripped off Zombie Ate My Neighbors.
Yep. It's the first video on this channel.
Yeah, good
Go
times.
watch it.
Good times.
So let's get into this. What are we reviewing today, Nick?
Well, we're going to be going over a part of this Army of Darkness omnibus. The first, was it 4 issues?
3. There's actually a 3, believe it or not.
3 issues. It's the movie adaptation of the actual movie Army of Darkness. And for those of you who are not too familiar, it is was the first one in the 70s?
79.
79.
And it came out in 83. It was filmed in 79. Independent film for $750,000, I think.
Something like that.
And The Evil Dead.
Yes. This is a horror movie starring Bruce Campbell as one of the main actors. I don't remember anyone else in it.
Well, they never did anything.
No, they didn't do much afterwards.
Sam Raimi's directing debut.
Yes, and it really started a genre of horror, the whole cabin in the woods kind of possession movies. It had 2 sequels.
Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn.
Which, they're not related other than Evil Dead 2 is a remake, kind of.
Well, the thing was, in Evil Dead 1, they didn't have the rights to this one, believe it or not,
right,
so they had to redo it.
Yep, but they did it better, kind of. It was more comedy-oriented than horror.
It was more of, it was the perfect blend, I think. And then they made Army of Darkness. A great comedy film and a great adventure film.
It is honestly one of my favorites out of all movies. Love it. So just quick story overview if you're not super familiar and you don't want to watch them all right now. Guy takes his girlfriend to a cabin in the woods. Somebody who used to live there read a very evil book called the Necronomicon, which is the Book of the Dead, old Sumerian writing, written in blood, that kind of stuff.
Bound in flesh.
Bound in flesh. Great. So he reads the words, evil spirits come out, possess his wife.
Girlfriend, fiance.
I was thinking about the old guy.
Oh, yeah,
the guy who
right.
read the text had his wife there. He chops her up into bits, and then the spirits get him, and he dies or something. And so the main character of this movie, Ashley Williams, takes his girlfriend Linda, kind of trots over there to have a good weekend, and she gets possessed, and things really go downhill from there for him. In the midst of this movie, he loses a hand, replaces it with a chainsaw. Fucking awesome.
It is fucking awesome.
Yeah. And this is a spoiler, but it ties in the 2 movies of Army of Darkness. He tries to destroy the book by using one of the many chapters in it to open a time warp kind of thing.
A portal.
Vortex.
Yeah, a vortex of some sort.
And it was supposed to take all the evil away, which it did, but it also took him back to medieval times. And the interesting thing is, Evil Dead 2 did not initially intend for a sequel. It ends with him popping up in...
Well, don't spoil
you're right.
the ending of Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2 has a great ending.
It has a great ending.
And it's very different from Army of Darkness. The thing you should know about all of these movies, sorry to just chomp over you, is this didn't intend to have a sequel, and then when this was made because Bruce Campbell thought his acting career was ruined and Sam Raimi thought his directing career was ruined, they said, F it, we'll make a sequel to Evil Dead. And then they didn't intend for a sequel to that, and then they got Army of Darkness.
Yes.
Which was actually, they didn't intend it to call it Army of Darkness, but the Universal wanted a different name for it.
What was the original?
Evil Dead 3, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was just called Evil Dead 3.
Yeah.
But then they call it Army of Darkness, and these are a bitch to file. I just file it under Evil Dead 3.
Yeah. So, Army of Darkness is kind of like a retcon of Evil Dead 2. It's because it takes the same ending, but makes it into a whole movie.
And then we get to this book.
This amazing book.
Well, this is the omnibus, which has just been reprinted. It's the easiest way to get these. Also, you can get them digitally on, I think you can get them on Comixology digitally, and you can read them panel to panel that way. But this is the first time I've ever reviewed a comic book movie adaptation.
Yeah.
This is the first time
I've ever read one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I gotta say, my favorite thing about the adaptation is the fact that they really did a good job with the art, making it look so similar to the way the movie was.
Yeah, they took a realistic approach to the art, which if you've read a lot of the Army of Darkness comics...
They don't.
It's a very cartoony, like you'd see it in the political cartoons. It's a very goofy art style. And the last, not the current one, the current Army of Darkness series, but the last one, Ash and the Army of Darkness, went back to this art.
Yes.
Which it kind of retconned everything.
As they commonly do in these kind of stories.
Yeah. But thing with this, and I'll show the art here, everything's in a blue. And I like that.
Yeah. I'm not sure why, but it has some strange effect that is appealing to my eyes.
It reminded me a lot of, I don't know if you've read it, but Dark Empire. Star Wars Dark Empire is all done in blues and greens.
I don't think I have had the chance to read that.
No, you read Shadows.
Yeah.
That's right.
He has all of them right back there.
I have almost complete collection.
He's a nerd.
I'm a scrub lord, you know?
Yeah.
We unite.
But going back to this adaptation, I didn't really expect them to keep it exactly to the movie, but I would say around 85% of it was line for line. And I gotta say, I was really bummed. There's one very wonderful part of the movie where you see there's a possessed old woman, and Ash Williams, my favorite character ever, just turns and says, "Hey," I think he says, "She bitch, let's go." Something to that effect. And they took the line out in that scene, and I was really sad.
Yeah, they cut down...
But they did throw it back in later at a random part, and I was like, oh!
My thing with this one problem I have with this movie adaptation is it's 3 issues. You can tell it's 3 issues. Some of it feels rushed.
Yeah.
The ending feels rushed in this, and it doesn't feel... Actually, kind of feels the opposite of Army of Darkness. It actually takes its time building up the climax.
Definitely.
Whereas in this, because for some reason they decided they couldn't make it an extra issue, they just throw it in. There's a lot of text near the end, and
like money.
Yeah, well, they didn't know this was going to be successful, so
that's true.
And then this has an alternate ending to the movie.
Yes.
Which is the key point to this.
Wasn't this the original ending?
This is the original ending.
The original ending.
This is the I Slept Too Long ending. Go check that out.
You probably could Google I Slept Too Long.
Because they finished the original cut of the movie has this ending. Yep. And then Universal, I think, was who helped them produce this one. Said, no, make it a better ending. And they did the Hail to the King ending, which is in the most cuts of the movie. I think there's actually one release of this because these movies get released all the time in different versions. There's a cut of it that has the original ending.
That's cool. I have a director's cut that has 2 discs, one with the original, one with not.
Yeah, they just condensed that into the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So Nick, would you recommend the Army of Darkness movie adaptation?
I would recommend watching the movie first, so that way you can really see how good of an adaptation it is. But I would recommend it across the board. For they did a good job keeping the writing true. They did a good job with the art, and I know you don't like that it's only 3 issues, but I don't know, it's a nice brief, and especially in this form of this omnibus, since it has all of these other Army of Darkness stories, it's like a nice beginning to the rest of the omnibus, which I like. It's almost like an intro comic.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this unless they bought the omnibus.
Yeah, I agree.
I would recommend it to hardcore Evil Dead Army of Darkness fans, but I couldn't recommend if I said, hey, you should check out the Army of Darkness comic book. I would not recommend reading this first.
But then again, I've never met someone who's watched the movie and wasn't a hardcore fan afterwards.
My mom.
No, that's true.
My mom's the only one.
Moms are different.
Moms are different. They're a different creature. But yeah, so how many stars would you give this out of 5?
I would say 4.
Yeah, I go 4. 4 out of 5.
4.
It's worth your reading. But I can't. It's just not a good starting point if you're going to read it.
I would not buy it standalone.
I don't think you can buy it as standalone. So let's go into how you can get this officially. This is something I keep forgetting to do, and I did in the last video, actually, finally. This has just been reprinted. They reprinted it last year. It kind of went out of print for a short period of time. Buy this. It's worth your money. These are... Dynamite's expensive, I know. They make $3.99 comics, and I hate that. Yeah. This is $30. You can get it on in-stock trades for $20. That's where I'd recommend getting it. And then you can get the other ones that are still in print. It's an excellent thing to get in your hair. Plus, there's some really good stories in here. There's some bad.
There's a couple ones that are like the Tales of Army of Darkness, which is like a play on Tales of the Crypt. None of those were very good, in my opinion.
Well, we'll get to that.
That's true.
So,
next time
on Reviews with Friends, I think you'll be coming back.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's nut up and do all of these.
All right, rock and roll. Right.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Internet.